Captivated, I say it, I'm on a whole new intrigue. My space invaded, upgraded, I hear you talking to me. It's in the boom of the thunder, it's in the cool of the rain. And I'll say, I don't ever wanna get away. Tonight is beautiful, it's got my mind on you. And everywhere I turn is a reminder. Soul's awakened, I'm taken by all the beauty you bring. You got it blaring, I'm staring, love watching you do your thing. There's no mistaking your style, no mistaking your touch. I see the grand, I see the subtle of your love. Lord, I see you in everything, all day. And every beat of my heart keeps reminding me. I see you in every little thing, all day. No matter where I go, I know your love is finding me. It's finding me in everything, all day. And every beat of my heart keeps reminding me. I see you in every little thing, all day. No matter where I go, I know your love is finding me. Tonight is beautiful, it's got my mind on you. And everywhere I turn is a reminder. From the sparkle in her eyes to the starlit open skies, you bring my heart to life, fill me with wonder. I see you in everything, all day, all day. And every beat of my heart keeps reminding me. I see you in every little thing, all day, all day. No matter where I go, I know your love is finding me. I see you in everything. You're all up in everything. I see you in everything. You're all up in everything. Oh, I can see your love in everything. And that's why you'll always be my everything. Yeah, I can see your love in everything. And that's why you'll always be my everything.
Fun stuff. Also gonna let you enjoy our beautiful views today. We really do have a gorgeous day today. Little bit of breeze here and there during the rides. We might have a little bit of what we call swing and sway along the way. It just makes it a little exciting, but nothing too crazy. So we should have a lovely time here. Folks, we are leaving our lower terminal that is at 6,559 feet above sea level. So we are already over a mile high here in the foothills. And we are heading all the way up to 10,378 feet up top. That is almost 2 miles high up there, or as we say back in Boston, wicked high up. Trip's gonna take about 15 minutes and we travel at an average top speed of about 13 miles per hour. So definitely the quickest way up this side of the mountain. Hiking up can take anywhere from about 4.5 to 9 hours. So y'all made the right choice today, I think.
Hiking would be fun if we had the time. Very fun.
The rest of the day on the mountain?
Yes.
I know it wouldn't be fun.
Most of them down here.
They're like dedicated hiking trails to avoid the scorpions?
I don't know. I think you kind of just gotta watch out.
Gotcha.
What is?
Has there been any accidents?
saw a snake.
So what can you tell us about the history of the cable car?
I will tell you that in one sec, but before I do that, I am going to say, folks, we have just crossed over our Tower 1 access trail. That is one of our shorter hiking trails now, about 1.5 miles long, so that one does not go all the way up to the top of the mountain. It was originally created as an access road to get materials and vehicles up to our first tower during construction. That first tower is that large blue tower-shaped thing in front of us, in case you were wondering. It's about 385 feet tall, and it leans at an 18-degree angle towards the city of Albuquerque, and that angle is to keep us parallel with the earth here on the cables. Folks, do hold on. Might have a little swing and sway going over this tower. Also, if you want to go wee, that's totally fine with me. It makes Monday more fun. Nice. Y'all were ready for it. Thank you. Good job. That was officially the most exciting part of the trip, so you guys did great.
Can we do it again?
They frown on going backwards on this. So folks, as we travel up the mountain today, we're going to pass through 4 different climate zones. We started out at the base in the Sonoran or desert zone. Here we are in the transitional zone, still pretty deserty as you can tell, but in just a few moments you are going to start seeing some smaller trees amongst all the brush and cactus. Some of our cactus has actually started flowering as well, so if you see any clumsy yellow blossoms out there, that's the cactus flowers. They are really beautiful. Down here is also where you find our smaller animals, all the cartoon favorites like coyotes, roadrunners, and rabbits, and yes, our scorpions and tarantulas down here too, also some rattlesnakes, some all the creepy crawly guys as well. It is of course a little warmer down here, so you will find our cold-blooded animals down here.
Is there a second tram?
Yes, yeah, we will pass them in a minute.
Oh, okay.
So coming up ahead of us, folks, you might start to see a patch of kind of broken up, jagged rocks in contrast to the more rounded, weathered shapes everywhere else around us. We will be passing over that patch in just a few moments. We call that spot there Critical Point, and I will tell you why. So we are in a national forest, the Cibola National Forest, but the tram itself is privately owned. Part of the agreement with getting to build the tram here in the National Forest was that we would change as little of the landscape as possible during construction. So other than the land directly under our 2 towers and our upper terminal, nothing was changed when the tram was being built, except for that spot we just passed over there, Critical Point, which was dynamited through rather than build a 3rd tower. It's also part of why we don't illuminate the landscape or light up the tram cars at night, and so we don't disturb the wildlife and change the visual landscape at night. That tram construction happened between 1964 and 1966. Our first ride was on May 7th, 1966, and we have been in continuous operation ever since then. We do run year-round and in pretty much all weather, except for very high winds, so you can probably imagine why. And lightning strikes within 15 miles, we actually do have to shut down for because the static electricity in the air will, in fact, cause our system to stop. So we would rather folks be at the top or bottom than in the middle when that happens. We were for a long time the world's longest aerial tramway. We are now the 3rd longest, but we are still the longest in North America, so take that, Palm Springs. It's actually quite pleasant up top today just because it's still sunny, but once it gets dark, it gets on. Alrighty folks, we're going to be coming up on our 2nd tower in just a few moments. This one is also large blue and tower shaped, so you will know when you see it. This one's a bit shorter, it's about 85 feet tall. Might have a bit of that swing and sway coming over this one, as we do tend to have a bit of winds here on the ridge. Also my favorite view of all as we come over these rocks here. And folks in the very front, if you could just lift your feet up over these rocks, that would be great. Welcome to the reason I come to work. That is cool. Welcome to the big span, folks. This length of cable between tower number 2 and our upper terminal is one of the world's longest spans of aerial cable unsupported. So this is over 1.5 miles long. Coming towards us on our right-hand side is our sister tram car heading down the mountain. So we are a counterweight system. That means that there are always 2 cabins in operation, never any more, never any less. As we pass by them in just a moment, that will be the exact halfway point of our trip. Feel free to wave at them to prove that we are the better cabin. Alrighty, folks, we are going to slow down here for just a moment, and that is because the two tram cabins are on one single continuous loop of cable, kind of like an old-fashioned laundry line, if you remember those. So the same cable that's bringing us up the mountain is also bringing the other cabin down the mountain at the same time, which means that we do always travel at the exact same speed as each other. Since they need to take that tower slow, we slow down here as well. But it is a great moment to contemplate the fact that we are currently at our highest point off the ground during the entire trip, about 970 feet from the canyon floor below us. That is approximately 1 Eiffel Tower, about 3 Statues of Liberty, or about 7.5 seconds.
If you were to go
So folks,
fall
as you
down
can
18,
tell, the landscape is quite a bit
That's how long
different
it would
up
take
here.
you to
We
hit
are
the
out of
ground.
those desert zones. We are now in what we call the Canadian climate zone. Up top, we will be in the Hudsonian zone. So right here in the middle of the New Mexico desert, we do have a little bit of climate you would find in parts of Canada. A lot more heavily forested, as you can tell. A lot of pines and evergreens down there, and our deciduous trees are starting to get nice and green and leafy as well. During the summer, we are pretty much totally green up here. In the fall, red, orange, yellow, gold, absolutely beautiful. And for most of the winter, we're snowed in pretty much from the top of the mountain, at least down to the ridge that we passed over. So anytime you visit, it is going to look very different. Albuquerque itself only gets about 8 to 10 inches of precipitation a year. Up here on the top, we can get up to 100 inches of snow. So as you can tell, quite different from down in the valley as we call it, or in the city itself. So folks, we are now crossing into Echo Canyon. This canyon is particularly heavily forested, and that is because it is the site of the only natural year-round continuous water source on the mountain. There is a natural spring that runs underground through the base of this canyon. So the trees that grow here are particularly tall and dense. In fact, most of the ones that we're passing over here are somewhere between 80 and 100 feet tall. Up here is also where you'll find the larger animals on the mountain, although because we are so high up here on the tram lines, a lot of them are not visible without binoculars if they are out at any given time. But the Sandia Mountains are home to black bear, mule deer, large cats like mountain lions and bobcats, all your smaller guys like porcupines, skunks, raccoons, foxes, red-tailed cats, over 200 different species of birds, including large predators like golden eagles and red-tailed hawks. And pretty soon we should start seeing even hummingbirds all the way up at the top of the mountain. If you do see anything down there that looks kind of like the size of a hamster walking around, that would be a black bear. It's pretty much the only things that are big enough to see from up here. We have had some out now. They are out of hibernation and starting to forage. Some of them even have cubs with them, so keep your eyes peeled. If you do see anything, let us know.
I can take another one too.
Alrighty, folks, we are going to be passing into our third canyon. This one is Domingo Baca Canyon, named after Diego Domingo Baca, an early rancher here in Albuquerque. As we pass through this canyon, if you take a look on the left-hand side of the cabin, out at the very, very highest point you can see up there, there's almost a corner where the ridge sort of slopes very steeply up from the left and a little more gently down to the right. You might see a small stone cabin over there right at that point. If you can't see it from the tram car, you get a perfect view from up top once we disembark as well. But as we pass by it, the doors and windows are a little more visible as well too. That's called Kiwanis Cabin, and as I said, it is a small stone cabin. It was built in the 1930s by the Civilian Conservation Corps. They're the folks who created the hiking trails up here in the mountains, kind of like a WPA program. It was built as shelters for the workers. It's actually the third cabin they built on the spot. The first one was built out of wood, struck by lightning, burned to the ground. Second one, built out of wood, flew off the mountain in a windstorm. Third time, they figured it out. They used the granite and limestone from the top there, and it has been standing for almost 100 years. It is now a landmark and the end of my favorite hiking trail up here on the mountain. About 1.25 miles out to the cabin. Can take 45 minutes or so to get out there. Again, like I said, really beautiful hike out there. If you are planning on doing doing any hiking or exploring on any of the trails, do keep in mind, even in our beautiful spring weather, there are still some snowy spots out in the hollows and the shadier spots, so please make sure you do have appropriate footwear and are prepared for that. And if you would like any hiking maps or information on the trails, we have that available in our upper terminal. You get a great close-up view up here of the pink granite that the Sandias are famous for. That granite, that pink color is caused by a mineral called potassium feldspar in the granite, and it's actually how the Sandia Mountains got their name. About 300 years ago, when the Spanish were traveling through what is now Albuquerque, they looked up at these mountains, they saw that pink granite and then the green of the trees. And between the pink and the green, they say it looked to them like a big cut slice of watermelon, so they named these the Sandia, or Watermelon Mountains. Alrighty folks, we're approaching our upper terminal. We're going to slow down in a moment as we prepare to dock. So just a couple things to keep in mind. You are welcome to spend as long as you like up here on the mountain. You do not have to come right back down. Trams down are going to run about every 15 to 20 minutes, and our last flight down tonight is around 9 p.m. Please don't miss that one. I don't want to come looking for you in the dark. Folks, if you do have a flight to catch or anything like that, please do leave yourself a little extra time. We do have a lot of folks visiting us this weekend because of the holiday, and the waits to get down the mountain might be a little longer than usual. If you do need restrooms, water fountains, information, assistance, anything like that while you're up here, you can find all of that in our upper terminal building. To our left is our red observation deck. There is both a ramp and stairs over to there. It is a great spot to take a look around from. Probably got about 100 miles visibility today in any direction, and some great signs over there that will tell you about some of the mountain peaks and things in the distance. And then if you are heading to our restaurant, Tent 3, it is the only other building up here. They're also to our left. They are open for casual walk-in dining. That is first come, first serve, and they do fill up pretty quickly. So if you are planning on heading over there for that, we recommend going earlier than later. All right, folks, as you can tell, we do have a little bit of breeze up here on the mountain. We might bump against our guardrails, just like that a little bit. Also, as you're walking around out there today, please hold on to your hats, your glasses, your small children, your gloves, your bandanas, and anything that you do not want to lose over the side of the mountain. If it does go off the side, we can't get it back for you. But you're welcome to try yourselves if you like. Alrighty, folks, there is often one final bump as we touch against those black pads in the front of us there, so please do keep holding on until we come to a complete stop in just a few seconds. There we go. We all made it. Good job.
The earth is shaking, the weary waking.
Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart. Take my yoke